if you can't. But the risk, are you willing to take?
Oh my gosh, that's a freaking big one. Oh man. Do not lose that fish. Holy crap, that's a big fish. That's a big smallie. Oh God. That is what I'm talking about. Look at that. That is a freaking tank.
Imagine us go apart, 'cause they couldn't change that, my love. Life has only begun. Our feet were flashing around. Oh, and we'll go.
Yo, what is up? What is up, everybody in Kayak Adventure Series land? What's up, Jake?
Nothing. Just got back from the dentist and ready to rock.
Yeah, you are ready to rock, man. You need some better lighting. We can see those pearly whites. See, my light's like blasting my face.
I was once on a podcast where they told me that I had nice teeth. I was like, that's a really strange insult or like compliment, but thank you.
Yeah, that it's a little bit too high def. Hey, but I will say this, man. I feel like death, dude. I mean, I've got this sinus thing that's going around. Whatever. I guess all that. I volunteered at my son's field day. Yeah, it's the pollen. And my son's field day was yesterday, so I'm doing that big parachute thing with all the kids. That's my station. So I'm grabbing the handles that all the other kids have been touching, and I guess I don't know if I got something from them or if it's just the pollen or whatever. But I am stopped up big time. So, anyway, bear with me. Is all I'm saying.
Hey,
guys.
do you remember what I did at 10 Killer when I had that? Because I showed up. I don't know if you even remember this. I had a really bad sinus infection that whole week. I went out and I bought a neti pot, and I was doing the neti pot like literally like before practice, after practice, in the middle of the practice, just neti pot. And then by the time the tournament came around, I felt way better.
Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. But no, I don't remember anything from 10 Killer, only the fact that I won, and that was it. That was the only thing I remember about 10 Killer, man. I was so locked in and focused on that strategy and that game plan I mean, sorry, no offense, but that is literally all I remember. But I'm glad you told me that because I might need that again at 10 Killer because that's coming up for us soon. So I might need the neti pot.
Yeah, especially with all that rain coming.
Yeah. So anyway. Yeah, it's good. That river's flooded right now, so I mean that lake probably is too. So it'll be interesting. But good show today, guys. Welcome everyone joining us in the comments and the chat. It's been I don't know, it's been a few weeks since we've done one, which is why we really need to get back on here. We appreciate Raccoon Creek Outfitters for being our sponsor of our live streams. It just kind of timing wise just kind of fell awkward and some stuff was going on, but usually try to get on here at least 2-3 times a month to do these lives.
It was the first like 3 weeks in a row, I feel like, where I didn't have something because we did, Florida, then there was a few weeks off, then we had to go straight into like our March, which was nuts for both of us because we went to Lake Fork, then we did Paris Real Fest, and when we turn around and before you know it, you're at, the Dale Hollow, and then you turn around and you got to go straight to South Boston, and it's just like,
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot for sure. But Dale Hollow was fun. We had a good time. If you guys want, I'm not going to get into it now, but I definitely, we had some good content and came from that. I just posted a video of a trip I did on practice day, floating into the lake from a tributary. A lot of the water was technically out of bounds, but at least I had a fun river trip, and I fished with that new spinning image from Hedden. Smashed some good fish, so you guys go check it out on YouTube. I'm trying to do some more YouTube stuff when I have time. Most of it will get posted in the winter. Let's face it, get more edited and posted. But in between, I'll have a few things come out as part of that against the current YouTube series I'm doing where I go against the grain to try to still compete in this world of fishing where electronics is kind of obviously taken over in all the rage. So follow along with that against the current. That kind of means, against the grain or going, against the norm.
It's definitely a lot harder than it was even as early as 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's getting hard.
Everything that's changed. Like, I mean, it's not even, it's like, what the crazy thing is like how popular some of the main trails have gotten, it's like just how many people are in there. And it's really tough when you've got designated launches because everyone's like, oh, there's too many people in that. There's too many people in these tournaments. I was like, what would be a great solution to fixing that problem? Launch anywhere that's legal. Problem solved.
Spread out a little bit further. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get why they do it, and we have our
absolutely.
Our I do get why they do it. I mean, but Steve more or less was trying to make sure people don't make a mistake and launch somewhere that they end up getting DQ'd. Like, hey,
I mean,
that's why they try to put so many. They do a good job.
Goes overboard, like in a good way, at making sure that all the launches are in there. Now,
it puts a ton. Yeah, I love it.
And like he goes, like he's doing like work like after the fact, where he's like, hey man, this launch is flooded out. We're not going to use it, but
yeah.
Hey, that's the kind of launch I want, though. If it's muddy, flooded out, and they're like, "Oh, the trailers can't get in there," I'm like, "Perfect, exactly what I want."
Speaking of Raccoon Creek, Dustin Hoy, what's up? He's excited for Ohio. You guys don't forget to get registered for that Great Midwest of Us. It is going to be the biggest one. I'm going to predict this now. I think we all feel like it's going to be the biggest KS event we've ever had. I think we can get up to that 125 number and give away a $7,500 check to somebody for the GoPro bonus, assuming that person films, and gets us just 2 of their 5 fish with that GoPro camera. I think we can pull it off. So that'd be cool. But let's get into it. Let's bring in our first guest. We got a great lineup for you guys here today. And then we're going to get into some other stuff. We're going to go over the AOI standing. We have 3 events under our belt, but the majority are still to come. So we'll get into the AOI standings, but I still, there's definitely a very strong chance someone who hasn't even fished an event yet could walk away with that modern buggy trailer. So Adam Coleman, hold your horses, man. He's got a great lead and a great start, of course, but I know he's gunning for it like all those right behind him who are within his reach, but someone who hasn't even fished these events could still win this whole thing. So we'll get into all that later, but right now we're going to bring in Bill. We'll bring in Bill from NOCQUA and Tyler Bean at the same time, and then we'll talk to Bill and probably focus on Bill. What's up, Bill?
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me okay?
Oh, we got you good, man. And we got our third place,
hey guys,
winner, if you want, I guess. Yeah. Tyler Bean too, from South Boston. And, you guys will just chime in, whatever. We're going to talk to Bill and, actually we'll bring Pete in too, cause he's here. Pete, what's up, buddy?
What's up, gents?
Not much, man. Out there at the Paris Reel Fest. We got a nice little, group of you guys who fished or have been at, in Bill's, case, different events. And so this mid-season show is just going to be kind of an update on how we're all feeling about it. What are you guys hearing from fellow anglers? Are we, on the right track, or is this whole thing crazy or whatever? But anyway, we want to chat with Bill first because you've been at a couple of them and flown the drone. You've, been part of you're sponsoring us through the Kayak or Die merch, which you're wearing. They actually got a shirt that you made that I think what's like a sweatshirt. That's cool. We're going to hopefully have some of those maybe right at this next event. But let's talk to you about
a small run of them for sure.
Small run.
Be sure to pick them up.
Yeah, nice. But yeah, Bill, so tell us a little bit about Kayak Adventure Series. How's it been going? And then we want to walk through one of my favorite, most underrated products from NOCQUA. I think it is for all of us here that have it. I know Jake Cook, Jake Hepner, we all have that backpack and love it. And it's unassuming because it's just solid black and you don't, it doesn't just pop out like it's some crazy wild things that you notice. But dude, I don't know what I've never really cared about a backpack before until it was that one. So anyway, I'll let you, Jake's got his right there.
Thanks for having me, Drew, guys.
Yeah.
So, KS has been great this season and we've really enjoyed being a sponsor. Had the opportunity. Can you guys see me okay?
You're fine. That was Drew.
Yeah, I don't know what I did. I was trying to make you full screen and I botched it apparently. There we go. Jake, you can make him full screen.
I'll take over here.
You got it. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. So as I was saying, we have really enjoyed being a sponsor via NOCQUA through the Kayak Adventure Series this year. And I've had the chance to be at a couple events. I was at the South Boston event and then the kickoff event down in Ocala. And I have to say, it is a very impressive production that Drew and Jake, you guys put on. And we've been happy to be a part of it. And I think you guys would agree. I don't think that there's anything close on the market right now in terms of tournament fishing in this style or form. And so if anybody's on the fence or needs that extra nudge to hear from someone about being at an event, if they liked it or not, man, don't wait. Register. It's a really, really good time. You'll have a blast. You'll meet a lot of cool people, like-minded people, and you'll have a great time. And you can win a lot of money if that's your thing, and just hang out with some cool people. So that's my take on it. And the second part of having us on, we wanted to talk a little bit about our Traveler backpack. So we launched this backpack last year, and it's called the Traveler backpack. The great thing about it is it's a 6-in-1 carry configuration bag. And so, Drew, you mentioned unassuming. It looks just like a regular backpack, and of course it is a traditional backpack in that fashion. But the really great thing about it is it breaks out into 6 different carry configurations.
I love that.
And so just to give you guys a quick demo of that, so you've got the traditional backpack style here. You've got a kick out on the bottom. If you wanted to throw laundry in there, you could throw shoes in there. And so you could wear it in that configuration as well as a
separate compartment,
elongated backpack. And then it has a duffel strap inside with duffel hooks, so you can carry it as a duffel bag.
There we go.
And then the other really, really cool thing that a lot of people don't know about this bag is that it's actually 2 bags in one. So the back unzips.
I love this part, this feature. This is my favorite feature of this bag. So
it easily detaches, and now you've got 2 bags. So you've got, in this example now, either a carry bag or a duffel bag with the duffel strap that's included.
I love it.
And then you've got a little day bag as well. And so inside the day bag, you can carry your laptop. It has different pouches and pockets inside. It's all high visibility liner and back padding, adjustable chest straps. The other great thing that I really, really love about this bag is on each side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those
it's got
insulated,
2 gigantic insulated pockets for drinks and snacks. And so, when we set out to design this bag, there was only one name for it. It was the Traveler, because it really helps you travel more efficiently, more effectively, and make the experience better for your travel. So these retail for $149.99. They're available on our website, NOCQUA.com. They're also available on Amazon. And we're actually introducing them into select dealers as well. So if there's any dealers listening that are interested in carrying the bag, we also offer wholesale pricing on them as well. So we're super pumped about these. Everybody loves them. And what I would say in closing on this is if you're in the market for a travel bag, or if you need a new backpack, hey, Father's Day is coming up, right? Get your father a great gift. This is a really, really great bag. And we stand behind our products. If you ever have any questions, concerns with anything, just give us a call and we'll make it right.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. We wanted to highlight that bag. Are you talking, Jake? Are you muted? I can't hear Jake for some reason. You're not muted. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So I'm on.
Yeah.
Jake's just not on.
You're good.
Well, I was just going to say that my favorite part of that, while Jake gets his audio fixed, is the fact they come apart, because whenever I go somewhere on a trip, like in, flying or traveling, and I put all my clothes and everything in there, I always then, of course, want to go and do little, once you put it at the Airbnb or the hotel, then I want all these mini excursions where I don't need all that stuff in there. Or I don't want to carry a giant bag again. So it's like, oh, I got to bring 2 bags. Well, who does that? Nobody. You either just figure it out, you throw it all out of that bag, and then you bring that extra large bag. I unzip that smaller one. It's so nice having 2 little bags. Like I said, my laptop, I love just throwing it in there. On these KAS, at the theater, you'll see me with just that small part of that small bag, with the backpack straps with my laptop, and that's it. And then I go back, I zip it back together. It's all one bag. It's really cool. And it's like, obviously you guys are a sponsor. We want to, promote the stuff that you guys do, but it's just, most people don't think about NOCQUA and they don't think backpack, because this is brand new. You guys think, our whole thing is we're powered by NOCQUA.
Yep.
You guys have a lot of power solutions, which have been killing it this year. But that's why I wanted to highlight that product, because I know it sounds like, man, a backpack, no one gets that excited, but I'm excited about a backpack, and I never would have been this excited had I not seen this from you guys and started using it and realizing it. Like when I took my son to the zoo the other day for his field trip for the school, we have both of our drink bottles in there and snacks, and it stayed nice and cool the whole time. And I have all the extra clothes and sunscreen and all this stuff's in there, my sunglasses. And it was like, dude, it was a great bag just for something like that. And I took off the other small part. I just needed that. Anyway, it was really cool. Been a great bag for me. We've all loved it. So
we appreciate that, Drew. Thank you. And to everybody listening, if you purchase a power product as part of your registration to get qualified for the NOCQUA Power Bonus that you see over there, if you win the NOCQUA Power Bonus, you get one as part of the prize package. So that's another hook into KAS that with the bag that we love.
Yeah, it has a ton of storage too. When I was flying on the way back from South Boston, I got pulled aside because I had my split ring pliers still in there, and they literally couldn't find them because she's like, "Man, there's so many pockets on this thing. You guys have so much storage." And she was laughing. She's like, "This backpack's crazy," and she's like looking for it, and she can't tell me what she's looking for apparently. Like,
oh, really?
Oh,
so she found them eventually. It was in like the front side, like the front inside of it. But apparently,
Jake, what about the? Did you leave the battery chargers at home that you thought might be construed? Yeah,
Jake mailed them to me. So
oh, okay, that was nice. But yeah, it's so cool, man. Like you said, all the compartments, like it's so like people talk about the Shoaly and the Smalley and even the back of the Kusa and everything else had designed with boats. They're like, dude, somebody who fishes actually designed this boat. You can tell. Because like all the stuff's kind of where it should be, and things that only someone who fishes a lot out of a kayak would think of. That's the way this backpack is, dude. I'm looking at it, I'm like this pocket is lined with this like super soft. I throw my sunglasses in there. It's obviously for that. Like everything it's like so well thought out. I'm like blown away by it. Like there's a lot of thought went into that. So well done on that backpack, and I highly, highly recommend. And of course, you buy a backpack and be qualified for the NOCQUA Power Bonus too. So it doesn't.
That's right.
Not just the $40 whatever they are. These guys power banks, which are great too, of course. But yeah, let's get into it. Tyler, you were at the last event. You got third. Let's and Bill, you just stay as long as you want, man. I know you got another meeting you got to go to later, but we want you to chime in along the way. And we'll bring Pete back in here. I think he's probably got something happen to his connection, but we'll chat to these guys here. Tyler, dude, you crushed it at the last event. You were leading it on day one on Friday's afternoon session. You're targeting Smallies. And so we want to just ask you guys a few different things. One, like how cool was it seeing, Tyler, like that final event when Jake and I were kind of looking at the leaderboard and seeing kind of where everyone was at top. We were like, dude, we literally have everything I dreamt of. Like when you create this new playing field based around like a center radius theater, a town. I was like, oh my goodness, we have there he is with the nice article from Marty, top baits. But we had the river in play. We had, the lakes in play, two rivers and 2 lakes. And you guys were all within an inch, I believe, or inch and a half, something like that. Anyone could have called up one.
They were all in like wildly different scenarios.
Widely.
The top 4. Like Alex was, in the backwater of
the lake,
the drawdown type stuff, like the more, not the pretty stuff that you see. Elvis was on one of the muddier rivers,
the Dan River. Yeah.
And then you got Tyler out there in the pristine shoals and like the the current. And then Adam was just fishing a little lake. It was wildly, and these are the top 5 right here. Just wildly different scenarios. So
Nate was in that same lake. That timber was sticking up at Briery everywhere. It was looked like Lake Fork or something. It was so cool to see so many different areas, and then you guys got to pick your style. So Tyler, tell us about that event and what why did you choose the river? I think I know why, but you tell us why, kind of, and what you think about that format that just lets you guys choose your own adventure.
Well, for starters, we don't have smallmouth in abundance down in Georgia, so I was like, I want to go catch some smallmouth. So that was the first reason. Secondly, it was I didn't have the time to go break down those lakes and pick spots. And I knew if I fished the river, if I could find out kind of what the fish were doing, I could find an area on the river that was good and, try and force the bite more or less.
Yeah.
And man, just covered water and throwing a whopper plopper and a chopo, swapping between the two, and they were hammering it, man. It was fun.
Nice. Dude. Yeah, we got some
But
cool drone shots of you out there too.
oh
doing
yeah,
your thing.
yeah. They're excellent drone shots.
Yeah.
Scared me on
really,
a couple of them.
Yeah. I was getting kind of close.
Drew's
to
a
some
madman.
Well, it's got the sensors. I just trust the sensors. I feel like if it's going to crash into something, it's going to alert me, and hopefully it does. And
You had some trust because I've seen some trees and you were real close to them.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
no, it was good though. Like the coverage was great.
Yeah. That's it. It's
That was-
beautiful. So you really do get to choose your own
It
adventure.
was okay looking. I
Yeah, it
guess.
was okay. That is what's cool about this format, though. You guys really get to kind of choose your style, pick your style, and try to go make it work. And usually there's something for everybody. Now, Pete, at your stop, the Paris Real Fest, I would say the first event where there was mainly it was just lakes that were going to play in Texas. You know what I mean? Like you guys don't
What
have.
do you mean?
Well, there were some rivers and bounds,
saying
but
those
like,
rivers look good?
but there's for
Yeah,
whatever reason.
there were some rivers optional, but I mean, just
Optional.
due to the local ecosystem, right? And of course, everybody's goal to come to Texas to catch big bass. It's pretty well known, right? Like where they're going to stage up and during what times of year and all that different stuff. Not that there's not some amazing river systems like down in South Texas and
Yeah, the
whatnot.
hill
That
country.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just want to go fishing and catch fish in the river, like super rad. But in competition, if you're looking for that length, yeah, there's some more optimal places.
Yeah, the lakes. I don't know why that is in Texas, but the lakes just seem to have it, and the rivers are not always in play unless you go to certain parts of Texas.
I mean,
you're
like the
talking about.
Sabine is really good, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Dude,
mean, it's all relative.
I loved that tournament though. That was so fun.
I know
to watch.
everyone's complaining about it. I was like, dude, that is what we need.
That was
That
so
Jordan
fun.
Lee, when he was holding the fish upside down on stage, that's a classic, man.
Yeah,
That was the original vision for Bassmaster, though. A lot of people have lost sight of that. When he started that, he wanted those grinder tournaments. He would intentionally put them in crappy places.
yeah. It's like the U.S. Open in golf. You know what I mean? Like the fastest greens, the thickest rough. I mean, someone's still got to win. And that's why it was exciting to me. Now, is it somewhere we're gonna all run to go fish? Of course not. But as far as just entertaining, watching, figuring it out, that was pretty cool. So, we can't do that with what we do in Bassmaster Kayak Series and any other trails. You kind of got to go to the places where people are going to
There's
catch
definitely some middle
bigger
ground
fish
to be had, though. Like you could do like something that's maybe not as quite as extreme as the Sabine, but like
right.
I do agree with that because you're going to have those opportunities that present themselves where it may not be just a popular fishery for tons of anglers in terms of just publicity and general knowledge in the fishing community, but you got to remember that we're such a small subset of people that fish. And for this small subset, if there's a big attractor to, a stretch of river or a, region of the country, it may not be the most touristy destination, but if it presents some unique opportunities for fishing, we're about same level as an addict. We're going to figure out a way to get there.
Exactly. We will. The Alex on the Water, speaking of our champ, we got to have him on the show one of these times too. He was on the Catch podcast. So I want to shout out the guys at the Catch podcast. If you didn't go back and listen to his interview, Alex breaks it all down with Matt and Brad from the Catch pod, and they do a great job. They're bringing all the winners. So they're kind of our official, one of our official podcasts, I guess, but they always bring on the winners. So we appreciate those guys, and guys, go check that one out. So congrats, Alex, again. We'll bring in the AOI standings here in a second, but there we go. Some nice shots of that lake over there. Yeah. See, look at that. It's like Lake Fork, man. It was just awesome. That's what it looks like. Just sticks everywhere. And so think about it. Like you had Alex fishing the lake with nothing like that. It was just barren. It was drawn down like 10 feet. And even if the water was up, there wasn't anything like this. No flooded timber. The lake guys had their choice of a gigantic lake, Bugs Island, Kerr Reservoir, with Bassmaster Opens goes there. It's huge. They have their choice of a couple of these smaller lakes right here. And then
Huge
they
is
had
an understatement. It is just
oh
massive.
yeah, it's massive.
Absolutely massive.
This lake here, I'd say small, medium-sized lake. Well, small probably for a quote lake. And then
Oh, yeah. It
and then
felt
you got
kind of
rivers
medium.
and creeks. Rivers and creeks. Yeah, but it's probably what, I don't know, a few thousand acres or something.
I
But
agree with that.
I
It's
don't
probably
even
more
know.
like maybe 500-600.
Someone will chime in maybe. How big it is. I can't remember how many acres it was, but you definitely couldn't fish at all in a day. You couldn't go around the bank
Definitely
and just
not.
fish it. I don't think so. It's still big, but it's just a cool format we've got here, guys. And you guys, now it creates this cool puzzle for you to figure out. But appreciate Alex chiming in and being a great champ. We'll see where, we'll see where he stacks up to the AOI chart here, because I'm going to bring that in, Jake. Yeah, there he is out there. That's the lake.
This is after Bay.
Yeah,
We've
this
got
is
a
after
couple.
Bay. See, so it's kind of barren because the water was down, and if the water was up, there could be some buckbrush or something. Since it,
There we go. Here's Alex. I knew I had a good one of just like a pan out. You can see.
See, now what was cool actually is that he said, you guys can go listen to the catch pod, but that little teeny grass that's in the water, it'd come up a little bit and risen from some rain. And anytime you found a good clump of that grass, they got to sit somewhere where there's nothing to sit on, even if it's nothing hardly, right? Doesn't matter if it's a little twig. They want structure. So whenever there's some rocky bluffs or a little grass like that, then they were on it. So that was cool.
And this is the river coming in, kind of the backwaters. So it's
Bugs Island.
Wild, just the variety that was here.
Yeah, I'll pull up those AY standings so we can see where we sit here. See where. All right. Let's see. Yeah, you guys got the screen, right? Yeah. So it looks like Adam Coleman is in the lead, which we would expect because he had a great finish there in South Boston. He won in Texas. And then Tim Isaac's right behind him, Russ Snyder's, Lance Coley, Steve Baker, Arlie Minton, Jason Isaacs, Robert Jolly, Jake Cook, Don Schrader, and Daryl Harrelson that round out the top 11 there, it looks like, on our page. Team of the year is Tim and Jason Isaacs, and they'll be fishing together at the what's it called? Great Midwest of Us. So team of the year, I guess I could see more of those. But who's second? Seth Taylor and Blake Abbey. So they only have one event. Jordan Westerman and Russ Snyder's are in third.
Russ is actually on there twice, isn't he?
He might be on there twice.
And then Steve.
Yeah, because he's with Steve Baker for one event too. So he's got a couple good finishes with couple different folks, so we'll have to see who he ends up going with for the.
Can he take first and second? I guess it's impossible. But.
Yeah, it's impossible. But 11th place, that's where Alex sits, tied for 11th there at 100. Elvis Lee right behind him. A lot of the people that have one event, which again, the way it works, guys, you just need two events. So anyone on this list right here that has those kind of points is in great shape on this 11th through 22 right now. Absolutely great shape because they've only got one event and they've got that many points, over 90. So the way it works, you just take your top two of the regular season 6, combine that with your finale event, the Broodstock event, and then that is your AOI score. So that gives you 3 totals. So you have, even if someone were to fish right now the last 3, and then the finale Broodstock, they would still have a mulligan. They could literally fish these 3, take their best 2 of the last 3, throw that out, the worst one, and then go combine that with the Broodstock to make a really good score of 3. So this is going to come down to the wire for sure. But so I don't really want to head next, but let's see. What about, when we talk to Pete again, a little bit more about Texas and just in general, the format. You can chime in about how the folks in Texas felt about it in the format, Pete, and just, if you think anybody else will come up to some of these other events.
Absolutely. I mean, the best thing I can do is kind of give it contrast, right? Because there's plenty of people who go to the Kayak Adventure Series events and have a good time, and they promote it on their social media. They talk about it and how they had a great time, all that jazz. But it hasn't blown up to the level that I think it deserves to, right? And really, my opinion is, man, if I can present some contrast, between just normal tournament kayak fishing and Kayak Adventure Series, in terms of like this last weekend, right? We were out at OHIV, and if I didn't know anybody and I literally just signed up for a Texas Bass Nation event, you show up and you manage all your accommodations, and there's no leads or anything like that, and you go out, maybe it's a new body of water or something you got history on, but in any event, right, you go out and fish and then you leave. I mean, as a content creator in 2025, I'd rather go when there's not, 80 other kayakers and 110 other boats fishing a tournament on the same exact day as I do. So if it is going to be a tournament, why not add value? And so that's kind of where, I look at kayak adventure series. You're planning with a group of friends, right? And if you don't have a group of friends, the community has been super welcoming in terms of like, I see posts about, hey, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. Can we stay somewhere, this and that? And everybody's been super welcoming. And then in addition to that, you've got these different opportunities for practice, right? You've got a certain number of days that you can go, and maybe you link up with a friend and you do it, sometime before, and you use that time.
Yeah.
And then being able to stay and fish with your friends, right? Because of the incorporated team aspect of it, like that it makes it more like a fun fishing trip with your dudes that has a tournament aspect to it,
Right.
right? With the big prizes of a big tournament. That, I mean, how is that not more attractive to a kayak angler in 2025
Right.
that has some sort of competitive streak? Like, I get it. There's probably 1,000 to 1 people with kayaks who fish versus people with kayaks who enjoy tournament fishing. I get it. That's just the reality of the situation. But why is that? Is it because they literally just don't care about competition, or they don't know that there's something that's, I say so inclusive, right? Like, it's not just tournament. It's like, hey, link up with 5 or 6 other people, be able to, share experiences during the day, be able to have the opportunity for big prizes, and quite frankly, I mean, big money, right? Like, if you're, if you're, powering your GoPro with a NOCQUA and you fish out of a certain brand, like, I mean, you could rack up, some nice coin, by hitting a couple of these events during the years. So,
Yep.
It's man,
And we always do
it's a
joint
lot
events
different.
too. That's something that gets overlooked. Is there's plenty of opportunities to sign up for like the North Texas event.
Oh, be able to,
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely be able to
He's from
double dip. I
Texas.
mean, when we were out here in Paris, it was, we had North Texas Kayak Championship, which traditionally it was a really weird time. I mean, I'll just say it, right. It was really unfortunate that the timing of it, and I understand everything, has to work together, but like the North Texas Kayak Championship normally is an 80 to 100, boat club derb, if you will. But being able to double dip, meant that you didn't have to pick one or the other if you're already involved in a, quote unquote, your local trail. And so you get to do both of them. Yeah, it's there's a lot of really cool things.
I was bringing in these
about the
articles.
series.
Thanks, Pete. I appreciate that, man. I'm bringing in the articles just so you can see. I feel like one of the things that we're doing such a good job just covering the anglers and covering you guys. You know what I mean? And a lot of it you're doing yourselves with the GoPros and other action cameras, obviously. But we're out there trying to get some incredible coverage, some photos and videos. And now, as you guys saw at the beginning and Jake showed, we got these highlight reels, which were also, it's like that Major League Fishing or Bassmaster Elite day one highlights, and they show all the quick, in a quick little 6, 7, 10-minute video. We're doing that in like a 10 to 15-minute video, incorporating our drone footage along with your, footage, guys. So
like, that's a sick shot right there, man. Like, that's what it's all about.
That one.
Yeah.
No, it is. There's Adam right there with this. We were able to cover him. He's right by the road, so that was fortunate. So I think we're doing a great job with the coverage, photo, video, and recap articles, including if you go over here to news and articles under the news, you'll see including the top baits. We've got top baits from, here's Paris Reel Fest top baits. I mean, you guys are doing a great job talking to Marty Hughes. Appreciate him. Appreciate Hank as well doing the recap articles. But the top baits, I mean, you guys are sharing the juice.
You must be in the wrong tab because it's frozen.
Oh, sorry. This is it here. Sorry. Top baits. I had to switch it, open up into a new tab. But yeah, you guys are doing a great job just showing off what you're using, and it gives you guys the coverage, the anglers, good coverage. So I think we're doing a pretty good job. Like you said, it'll keep catching on. the more and more we do them. So
And it's wild to see the variety
yeah,
people were throwing. Now, I will admit there were a lot of chatterbaits at Paris, like a lot. But
yeah.
there was
But anyway,
yeah, some of these.
Well, that was something. Hey, just to not let it be overlooked, but so we had to get together on whatever night that was, and being able to sit there, in front of three dudes that have such a vast amount of experience
yeah,
with a specific bait or technique, in that scenario, right? It was the all the variants of the Z-Man chatterbait. And
yeah.
I mean,
The brunch, you're talking about the Bass U brunch. So I
yeah,
got pictures of that right here. So we
Well,
do these.
technically, was it a brunch?
Well, it was a dinner.
technically a Bass U dinner, breakfast
that
for
was
dinner.
semantics. That was just not
Yeah,
working.
It
Yeah,
actually was great because I love breakfast for dinner.
that was solid.
Yeah, that was solid. Jody and Abby and I doing the chatterbait seminar was really cool. So I appreciate you mentioning that because that was something we want to bring up too. Just how it's not.
Your screen's frozen up again.
Oh,
It's
am I
on
there?
the Ocalapalooza. There we go.
There we go. Okay. So the Bash U brunch, there we go. So Jody and Abby and I, but the thing is, it's like you said, we definitely have a team division and a micro bag, and we pay out 15%, which is a pretty big payout down the field. Do lots of stuff to make sure there's winners, there's extra categories, there's bonuses, the bonus categories, all that kind of stuff, right? To help have more quote winners. But the reality is, not you go to these events, most people are not going to make a profit in terms of the actual money, but you can walk away with a good time, and learning stuff, fellowship, and that is something we can always guarantee. So that's what we try to focus on for sure. So
I love this, guys. On the same topic, I was on social media this morning, and Drew, your post came up where Kayak Angler Magazine posted about the Kayak Adventure Series, and one of the comments was from Jake Suvak, who just recently won their Yakov
that's right.
kayak competition awards.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he replied back on that post. He said, of the Kayak Adventure Series, he said, my favorite tournament series I fished, with a fire emoji. I mean, that just goes to show you had other people saying love KAS. And so I think it's just a matter of time.
It is. It's the format, no doubt about it, man. It's like that backpack behind you in the kayaks I designed, whatever. Like, we've thought about this so long and hard, man, like about what makes an experience good for the angler. Because obviously I fish tournaments. So, and what makes it miserable or not fun or whatever. And dude, we've just tried, because I'm not, we're not, it's Jake and I basically, and volunteers, but not held back by any other larger organization or corporate. We just make decisions based
Eric
on
too. Eric helps a ton.
Eric's been super, super helpful. Eric Kruger. Appreciate
Being
him for
solo
sure.
at Virginia was very eye opening. Just
Yeah.
throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Like,
He
it
does-
was a ton of work to do that Virginia event.
Yep. But I mean, you only have to wake up early one time. Obviously you can wake up early if you want, practice.
That's debatable.
But yeah, it's debatable. One time on Saturday morning. But Friday, you don't have to wake up super early. We got that brunch at 10 a.m. So it's not like it's, that early, which, by the way, I think I'm going to move Broodstock's brunch to 9 a.m. and then let you guys start sooner, because Broodstock needs a little bit more fishing than just, you know what I mean? So I'm making it a little bit longer, like
Dude,
5
that
hours.
evening session is legit, though.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think it took a while for people to kind of hit their stride with that, but Friday has become such a big, like, people love it. Like, and the shots you get, right, on
Golden hour.
Yeah, the golden hour.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just so much better. Like,
I don't
that
either, 'cause
shot of I think Bill actually got the shot of them where it's coming up. Actually, I got it. Hold up. I didn't know that I had it on my computer. Look at this.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Watching you guys come in and get to fish till on a weekday.
And you can see that's actually Jake right here. Jake, and I think it's John Ost and Jake coming in.
Is it? Okay. I didn't know if that was Wally and Steve Baker. They were coming in from there
they're
one
just
day.
off to the right on there.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
Wally
yeah.
and Steve are already in at this point.
You're right.
This is Jake and John.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
that's during the evening session.
Yeah. Look at this.
See, so
I
so
mean,
Pete, you missed out.
golly,
Yeah, you missed out on that.
dude, I'm like, that sucks, because there's so
Yakov
many
champion,
times that, like, anybody who's fished for even a decent amount of time knows, like, man, that afternoon evening bite, dude, it can be so fire. It can be so good. And there's no tournaments. I mean, even just this last weekend out at OHIV, there were guys that were at 0 until 2 in the afternoon, and the tournament was over at 3. And they luckily grabbed 5 or 6 between. Yeah, but those afternoon evening bites can be so good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's all over the country, you know, as far as that goes. But man, it certainly is something that gets overlooked in tournaments as far as the enjoyment factor, because you don't go out to struggle all freaking day, right?
Yeah.
And so being able to include that evening bite is just.
I would actually argue that, now this is just me, I feel like the evening bite sometimes is way better than the morning bite. I think morning bite can be super overrated.
Got my vote.
The reason why is because with the morning bite, it is such a shorter window, right?
Yeah.
It's such a shorter window, whereas in the evening bite, you pretty much have that like 3-hour window. Once that sun dips below the trees, that's when it's like boom.
Well, and it's the wind before the sun goes down too. You got high winds in the afternoons.
Yeah, whips everything up.
Yeah, you know, the third period on Major League Fishing, they've always shown it picks back up. It's like good in the first period, a lull for second, and then third pick back up.
Absolutely.
But I got to pick up and go get my charger. My computer's going to die. But you guys keep chatting, and if you guys want, we'll bring in Mr. Josh Chrenko too, talk about some smallie action. So what's up, Josh?
What's up, boys? How's it going?
I'll let Jake take it away. Good, man. You got my battery.
We're just talking about evening bite versus morning bite. So.
Yeah, evening bite versus morning bite. Oof. I feel like, man, I don't know. They're both pretty good.
Even in terms of like tournament stuff, right? Like what tournaments allow you to take advantage of that evening bite?
Yeah, tournaments, obviously. Well, you know, the like local derbs that are, you know, you fish. Those are mostly out of a boat, but you know, you'll fish like Wednesday evening type of stuff, which those are always fun. You know, I don't shoot, man. I like to do both. Go get the morning bite and stay out all day, and get the evening bite too. But
I'm blessed in that my smallmouth are so stupid in our rivers that they will eat topwater from sun to sundown, and even throughout the whole night. Because I don't know why, it's just the river I fish is just like throw topwater all day, and they'll eat it.
Honestly, man, I feel like midday bites are kind of slept on a little bit.
They
are.
Like
I can't tell you how many times in a tournament that I feel like there's always a lull in the day, and for me, it's like post morning. You know, you have that like, I don't know, maybe like. Depends on the time of year, but you know, 9:30, it starts to kind of like tail off, and then you have a couple hours like, man, it's like tough. And I think a lot of guys mentally check out, and they're like, you know, oh man, the bite's bad. And then, dude, usually there's like a resurgence at like the tournament ends at like 3:00. That like 1:30 to like 3:00, I caught some of my kickers a lot of times during that, you know, kind of midday thing. So in a tournament, you know, I always like, man, you got to fish harder all the time till the bell
I've always
rings,
wondered if it's us or if it's just the fish, because like I've done a couple floats, and at the end of the float, like in the last couple of weeks, I'm like, man, the bite really sucks at the end of every float, no matter what river you're on. And I was wondering, I was like, is it the fish or is it really just us checking out as anglers? And I honestly think it's the latter, because if you're still fishing hard, because like I thought about that, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep fishing. So I just started throwing the plopper at the end of the float, just burning it as fast as I could go as I'm going back to and I started catching them. I was like, yeah, it was us. You know, it's just like you check out mentally, but the fish are still biting. You just have to figure it out.
Maybe.
I mean, they definitely
100% agree with that.
Yeah, they change. I mean, I think they're, you know, the bite changes, and you kind of have to, you know, kind of switch up your pattern a little bit towards the middle of the day. But I don't know. I mean, the big fish do, like, for whatever reason, in the middle of the day, they'll just like, there's a window there where I've caught a lot of my biggest fish I've caught in the middle of the day. Like, I don't know. I think we all sit here and like have our own theories about why, because we want to sound smart. You know, it's like, I don't really know why. I just know that I've hammered some really big fish in the middle of the day, and a lot of them like buzzer beater, 10 minutes left in the tournament type of thing, which those are fun, dude. That gets your
Dude, the biggest fish I caught at Dale Hollow was literally with 20 minutes ago. like straight up. I was just like, well,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna get a fish, it needs to be a big one. And then like 2 casts later, it's like bam.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, Drew has buzzer beater stories. Like, what's your favorite buzzer beater fish?
Probably one of my favorite was when I won AOI for Hobie in 2020. I caught a fish. I think it was like 2 or 3 minutes left, and you don't know in your head when you're about to snap that photo, you finally pull the phone out. You really don't know if it's like gonna say 59 or like Dale Hollow. It was 7 minutes past, and I'm still fishing this bedfish, thinking I have like a few minutes left because I'm just like going, and I didn't set an alarm, which I should have. But anyway, and I look at my phone. I caught the 17.25, which would have moved me up like 1.25 inches, and it was 207. Our lines out was 2, and I was like, dang it. Anyway, but I buzzer beat it. I did buzzer beat to finish 7th at the original TOC, and that fish was a big part of helping me win that AOI. It was just a couple minutes. I got 2 minutes, I think, left to go, and it was stressful to get that photo, and it's fun. But Josh, what do you do? You're like in a jail cell. What happened to you? Did you get like arraigned?
No, it's my office.
Oh,
This
okay.
is just.
Look like
I'm sitting at my desk and I have scrubs on. I
Somebody seen that man
I didn't
post.
want to. I didn't want to come on here with my hair all wild bug, so I grabbed a hat off the rack. But
there you go.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it's those fish are fun. I had one in particular. It was like at the very end of the tournament, and I knew it was. I usually will look at my phone or watch just to see, like, okay, if I catch a fish, do I have any chance of getting like a picture of this thing? Because
Right.
I honestly will stop fishing because I know how pissed I will be if I catch one and I can't take a picture of it. But this time there was a dam. I was floating downstream, and there's I was in my float. I had to portage this dam, and I was like, I was really wanting to get a couple casts on the underside of this dam. So I was like, I get there, and I just mismanaged my time. I had like 2 minutes left, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get. So I jammed my kayak up on the bank, stood up on top of the dam, and like just threw a spinnerbait like down into like the little eddy on the corner. And dude, I had a 19 just like hammer it, and I was like, oh my god! I was like, I didn't even look at my phone. I didn't know how much time I had left. I like yanked the fish, just boat flipped it straight into my kayak, like jumped, threw it on my board, and I just started like taking pictures. Like I was like, I don't even know if I'm getting anything. And after I looked at my watch and it was like 2:01 or whatever, I was like, well, I think I got some under the thing, and I found one picture I got that was like 159.58 or something. Like it was like right at the thing, and its mouth was wide open. Like it was like a terrible picture. So like, well, it was a 19. I was like, I'm gonna at least submit it, and they just deducted, whatever for an open mouth. But
Wally Baker had a buzzer beater at South Boston Bassathon. Steve Baker talked about it on stage. I mean, he has no clue how his son, I think he's 12 years old, got it in. It was like at 59, whatever it was, like you're saying, got it in and got a picture all on his own without even any help or anything, and beat the buzzer. That was pretty cool for sure. But anyway, I'm excited about the Achigan Mississippi River Bronze Quest, our annual. It's going to become an annual tradition. The Bronze Quest will be our signature smallmouth event every year. We'll consult with the Achigan guys because we obviously go to multiple good smallmouth fisheries in our schedule. So we'll have to talk to you guys next year and figure out which one you would like to make it. Because even this year, you could have argued it could have been the Susky, could have been this event, but I think there's no doubt this was the right call. But yeah, I'm excited about that. People are signing up for that event like crazy. It's going to be a ton of fun. And even Tyler might make it there. You still trying to get up there, Tyler?
I'm still trying to go. I got to get a big small.
Tyler, you definitely need to go up there.
Yeah.
I've been watching you on social media, and I could tell you got that taste of smallmouth from that South Boston event. And like, dude, you need to keep feeding the addiction, dude.
Dude, ever since he got burned by Danville at the Susky event you won, he's just been like motivated.
Oh yeah,
he's like, dude, I'm on Danville, and he gets there and it's just like packed with people.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, there was like 15 cars at that ramp. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
there's plenty of places to fish at. The upper Mississippi is like, it's not the Susky, like the size wise, it's like way smaller, but
Yeah, width.
there's a lot of river miles to fish, and there's a bunch of sections where there's islands that breaks up the river. There's tons of lakes in play too, I'm assuming. I don't
Yeah, there's
know
some.
how
Yeah,
many people. Yeah,
there's
decent amount.
a few lakes that, because there's natural lakes too that come in off of
Yeah, that come off
tributaries,
the river.
and you can kind of get into it. There's one or two that are there is a dam that I think we have in bounds. So
Little Rock
it-
Lake, I think you
maybe
can
and
sneak
it
into.
lets those tributaries be in play. I mean, you can catch big ones in the tribs there too. I don't know. I've never fished there, so again, I don't listen to me if you guys whatever. But I'm saying I know big
Spill
fish
the juice.
will be in the tributaries too. So I know that. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to catch the biggest, some 22 inch or 23 up a trib, but you never know, man. There
But
could
I'll
definitely be
try.
some.
Dude,
yeah.
I think it would be wild if largemouth play. And the reason why I say that is Minnesota, Michigan, and Wisconsin have some sleeper largemouth sometimes. If you find the right area,
We need to pump up the largemouth. You guys
Jake.
all need to go fish the lakes.
Yeah,
Nobody,
yeah.
there's
get the
the
largemouth.
river sucks.
Jake, this is
There's
the bronze
you
quest.
guys,
It's the
yeah,
bronze
Please
quest.
go fish the lakes.
You know
There's
what?
huge
If I was
largemouth in
fishing
them.
this, I would spite try to win with largemouth. Like I would just try to make it.
Are you gonna be up there, Jake?
I will be. Yeah.
So
Okay, cool.
before Bill's got to run, but before Bill leaves, I do want to just say, let's touch on the Wednesday welcome dinner. At every event we all start now. It used to be Thursday was the opening ceremonies, and it is, but Wednesday, we now have the Wednesday welcome dinner presented by Kayak or Die, and you raffle off a free hat. Everyone gets a discount for some products. That's pretty cool too. Tell us about, I guess whatever you want to share about that. You were at the last one. Just share about that before you got to run here.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Drew. So obviously my day job is sales and marketing for NOCQUA Adventure Gear, but I have a couple other companies actually in the kayak industry that I own. They're startup companies. One of them is the Kayak or Die brand. So it's hat, tees, and hoodies is what we focus on. And so if you make your way to any of the KAS events early before I guess it's every Wednesday, right? Yeah. So every Wednesday's dinner that we have, we're going to raffle off a Kayak or Die hat. And we also give a discount code to everybody that attends for if they want to pick up some merch online.
Perfect. And Steady Stick, the other one. Right?
Yeah, so Steady Stick's another company of mine. That was the original company. And for those that are unfamiliar with Steady Stick, it's a innovative kayak fishing products company. And so what I have primarily focused on is standing balance assist. So if you like to stand in fishing kayaks but find it challenging, we make different balance assist products. And so I don't know if you could see it here. That's actually so this is a native Titan.
Can make it big.
12 and a half. Titan X 12 and a half.
Jake might be able to make
this is a Steady Stick that's attached to the native Titan X. And so this is a universal Steady Stick that's coming out later this year that I'm pretty excited about.
Nice. That's cool, man. Well, appreciate all your support. Love having you at the events. I mean, people don't know this, but Bill's an excellent drone pilot as well, like really good. So he's out there getting shots when we kind of put you to work when you come to these events, man. And we appreciate it.
He's getting shots when Drew's SD card shoots out.
Yeah. I have no clue where that SD card is. If anyone around that South Boston, Virginia area sees a micro SD card at the boat ramp, let me know. I'd love to get the 4K shots instead of the
I'd love to get it
1080 instead of the grainy 1080 ones that came off the remote.
Don't worry, don't feel bad, Drew. It happened to me too, literally the next weekend. So
no way.
You didn't hear about that?
No,
I lost my entire tournament because I was changing it and it shot out like it literally went like 15 feet. It like
spring action, baby.
And I was so devastated because that big fat smallmouth that I had that went viral was on that SD card. And it's just, I got lucky that I just filmed it with my phone.
Dang. That sucks, man. Yeah. Well, it happens, man. I guess I guess it happens. But I wish those things are just so small. You know what I mean? It's hard to keep up with them sometimes, man. But anyway.
Should have put an air tag on it. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, right. Well, Bill, thanks, man. Now you got to run to your meeting. I'll probably just be a few more minutes ourselves anyway, just chatting about some of this stuff and whatnot. But we'll see you at the next one, whichever one you show up to, and we'll definitely see all your products at the next one. So
sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right. See ya. All right. Where are we on next?
Well, we were
kinda
talking
were-
about the Upper Mississippi.
Yeah, we were talking about that one. So so Pete, are you gonna be able to make it up there to that one? I know it's a long way away from Texas, but
Yeah, I was just mapping that out. I mean, it's a 1 day drive for me, 16
Why don't you
hours.
fly?
16,
Well,
it's not that
16.
bad. That's not
That's
that
not
bad.
bad.
Yeah, if you fly, I'll give
That's
you.
what I'm saying.
Pretty
It's
bad.
1 day.
16
1 day.
hours, dude. That's a long
24.
drive.
It's a 1 day drive. I mean, I'm good for about 25, 26 hours straight, and then I gotta freaking, conk out for at least 6 hours. But no, I was actually looking at that in July, and my only fear on that one is that I say I'm really looking forward. So I'm really looking forward to fishing. I'm not looking forward to the drive to Champlain.
Yeah, right.
And
Champlain's a long one.
that's
Two of them.
yeah, and that's gonna be one of those days where I'm gonna leave. Like for that one, I'm probably gonna leave like the 20th, and so to go up for the Mississippi event, right? That's on the 11th and 12th, and
Yeah.
then come back Monday. It's literally like go back and forth. Is it possible? It's certainly not out of the question. Do I get jealous? Watching y'all post on social media, all the river systems and all that. Absolutely. Am I looking at different options aside? Typically I fish out of an AP, which is probably the best there is for certain conditions, but
it's
certainly not
perfect
for
largemouth out of this place.
Dude, fly.
There's plenty of
That's the
places.
thing is, I'm not gonna go there. So there's a West Texas lake that absolutely ruined me as far as largemouth go.
Yeah.
There's more and bigger. You've never seen so many 8-pound plus largemouth in your life. Shameless plug. Go look up Brandon Burks. Like that's my
Yeah.
boy, and that dude is catching
That muddy water lake.
3 to 5. Yeah, he's catching 3 to 5 double-digit largemouth a week. Anywho, I'm not gonna go drive 16 hours. It's just like when I went to Susquehanna, right? Like my mindset was, man, if I can just catch them all day long, and wherever I end up, and I was able to do that. And if I happen to run into some big ones, and I did the allegedly I portaged my AP up over one of the falls to go get my kicker just because it looks so good on maps. But yeah, anywho, I digress. That the AP is not a river.
It'd work good on that river though.
Having looked at this river, I think that the AP will be totally fine.
Yeah, fine.
In fact, I was actually.
Oh yeah, it's not like a reason why I won't go. Certainly, the craft that I'm in is not the reason why I won't go.
I was going to say, if you do fly in, you can use. We have plenty of shoalies.
Oh, I would drive. I love driving.
But then you can fly home, and then fly back to Minneapolis, and then drive from there to Champlain because you have to drive back. You see what I'm saying? Just
I could leave it there.
It'd be because you can get cheap flights from Minneapolis
to
Dallas.
Canada, man. Look at this. Look at this right here. Boop 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 boop. And
you could.
Here.
He's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Oh, that'd be a sick drive.
Dude,
man, I'm all about the adventure. Being able to see all the different stuff. So I mean, you're making it real attractive to me.
I can tell Josh's
driving
head
across Texas.
Yeah, Josh's head's already going thinking look how many incredible smallmouth rivers.
Oh my God!
He's gonna.
That is not faster, guys. By the way, just throwing that out there.
21.
Deceptively long to, and that's only that's like the dead center.
But they're not giving you the Canada route.
It's not an option. You probably.
Oh, they are giving you the Canada route. Hang on.
I think
there's
this is
there's no
right
interstate.
here.
Yeah, that is the Canada route. There's no interstate. That's why.
Mm.
And you have you got to do a what's it called on that one?
Ferry.
Ferry across.
Yeah, you got a ferry. Is that really what it has you do? Does it have you ferry?
It does. That's best. That's the best option. That's an adventure right there. You get video of you ferrying across Lake Michigan.
I'm just saying, if I were going to do that, that would be the way that I would go.
Yeah,
because that's right.
I definitely think that this is going to be the event of the year, as far as uniqueness of it, because it's just. I mean, this is just look at all the stuff in play, and I'll take it off this. I mean, look at all the water.
What's the lower boundary of that? I know I was talking to you about the upper boundary. What's the lower boundary?
If you zoom in, I could tell you. Zoom in a little bit, Jake. Kind of down a little bit. Down. Zoom in.
There's
right
Monticello.
Go zoom in. Let's go up a little bit more. go upstream a teeny bit more. I thought it was like right above some dam. There's like a spillway dam. Maybe it's
There's a dam somewhere there. That's a
a
lower
little bit.
boundary.
Maybe it's
Oh
further
wow,
down.
look at this.
Yeah, further down. Yeah, airplane. Go further down. Anyway, it's over there. You can go on the website and check it out. But it's almost to Minneapolis, but not quite.
Well, this is Minneapolis
Okay.
here.
So
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
up
that-
a little bit.
Is it
That
this?
makes sense.
Is that
no,
a dam?
no, but
it's-
we should pull up the Kayak Adventure Series website and just find it. Or Josh,
Is there a way?
Josh-
And this is literally one of the benefits of the Kayak Adventure series. Is there a way
knows?
for me
Here it
to find out about the flow in that that particular area? Like that's, I mean, I would never be able to ask that question in like my regular tournament trails. They'd
Yeah,
be like,
you
I don't know, figure it out. And I could, but like
you can
There's
just look
tons
at
of
the
USGS.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
USGS
There's
gauges.
tons of those.
USGS, okay.
And
Yeah. Which it's July. It's not going to be high. It'll be,
it's be
you know,
perfect.
It'll be low most likely. So,
but not
yeah.
too low,
Okay.
most likely. I don't think it's gonna be too low.
And you
It's
know
gonna be-
something, Pete, too, since you do have 2 kayaks, the crazy thing is like I don't think it'd be insane to bring the Tamarack and fish out of that
Oh
I
no,
know
I
that-
bring the Manta.
or whatever.
We'll
You
get him
know,
a
but-
We're gonna get Pete a Smalley. That's what
I'm
we're
gonna
get.
fish out of a Lifetime kayak for that event.
dude, I don't
Just go
think that it
there
matters.
and buy one.
If we don't get you a Smalley first, we got to get.
They don't have them available. The one that I have isn't readily.
I mean, Josh
available.
is probably
but
going to
July,
Aren't you
dude.
going to fish out of your Hobie, right? Your eye tracks or whatever.
I'll probably fish out that Osprey.
Oh right, I forgot you have that now.
Yeah.
You're a
That
big boy
Osprey
now.
is so sick.
Yep,
That
that'd be
thing is
good.
ridiculously sick.
Pete, we'll get you a Smalley,
Yeah.
man. We'll get you one before then. I'm sure somebody will have one somewhere. We'll try to at least. But that's what Elvis is saying. Lower boundaries where the Rum River meets the Mississippi. So there you go.
Yeah, so that puts in play all the stuff that I've fished, which I have fished the Rum too. It's pretty sick. That's the river that runs out of the south portion of Mille Lacs.
Speaking
So,
of,
it's kind of a cool,
That's gnarly.
cool place.
Tyler and I were talking about going there after the event, just because when's the next time I'm going to be up there?
Yeah.
To go out to Mille Lacs.
I don't know, dude. I mean, Mille Lacs, I'm sure is amazing, and there's freaking giants in there. There's so many fish in that river, dude. You'll be cramping up. You won't be able to go fish after this event. Like,
Yeah.
it will be. You'll be like.
You're saying that I'd
smallmouth
rather
out.
do another day on the river than drive all the way up there.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've been up there probably, I don't know, 7, 8 times. I've never felt the need to go to Mille Lacs, not even
No.
remotely.
Interesting.
And I've had a boat up there, and I've just never. Which I talked to guys that were up there around that time, and like they will be on the lake, and I'm having like markedly better days on the river
Yeah.
than they were having on
I
the
think
lake.
the
So,
allure to Mille Lacs is that you can actually catch that, like, because we're length
Yeah,
guys, right? Like we care about length. We don't. I mean, weight is
Yeah.
great, but like a lot of the boat
catch an
guys are
8-pounder up there.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
thinking about it, and I was like, it would be cool to catch an 8-pounder, but the reality, would I rather catch like a 22.5-inch 8-pounder or a 23 river smallmouth? I would have a really tough time. Like I might go with the 23. Like
I go with
Oh, yeah. I would.
I
Sure.
definitely would. I definitely would.
now, I'm
There's
not
no
saying there's a lot of
question.
23s on the
Elvis
upper
is-
Mississippi, but
Yeah, Elvis is basically saying he lives up there, guys, and got second place over there in South Boston. No need to go to Mille Lacs when the upper Mississippi is as good as it gets. He's right. I mean, that's why we're going there. Jake can fool you all he wants, trying to show you about largemouth honey holes up there. But let's face it,
Hey, y'all are messing this
we're
up.
going
We need
there.
to
what?
be
You guys are
largemouth
gonna like
fishing.
this is
force
the Bronze
me
Quest.
to go
It needs to be
rogue.
largemouth fishing on lakes. Y'all are
I'm gonna
messing
drop
this
the
up.
pins, be like, here, if you want largemouth.
Adam
Yeah.
Cross over here.
Pass.
Speaking of
If
Canada,
somebody wins that event with greenfish, dude, I might retire.
yeah,
Like I don't. It's called Bronze Quest. You win it with largemouth, dude. That would be heartbreaking.
I would be surprised if there's even that many largemouths submitted. Truthfully,
yeah.
I've
but-
never even caught a largemouth in that river, and I've caught over 1,000.
I heard the largemouth
smallmouth
fishing was
out
great.
there. So
Tyler.
Yeah,
trying to-
there's definitely a big portion of that I mean looks absolutely navigable. But I'll definitely probably bring that other if I can
You
make
can
it.
bring both, man.
I'll bring the other one just because it's so simple and honestly, again, like the benefit of the kayak adventure series and being able to travel with a bunch of guys, like I'm not trying to discount river fishing, but
It's better.
it can be
Yeah,
so
go
much
ahead.
more simple. Yeah, well, it can be so much more simple than, I mean, it's as simple or as complicated as you make it, I guess, right? But you know, in just, it's like, man, I can go out on the river with 2, 3 rods and a little box of baits,
Mhm.
and you know, mostly moving stuff, and just go and have fun. And it's like a fun fishing day. It's like the other night I go out, I have 1 rod, 1 bait, and I go out for like 6 hours, have a blast. I have way more fun doing that than going out like on OHIV and freaking, you know, I've got 8 rods and
Dude, lake
every
fishing's
style.
boring, man.
You can
Like,
say the same thing about lakes, though. Like I could take a spinning
You
rod and a
could
Senko in a lake and go catch fish.
skip docks.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
I was
Okay.
in Gunnersville and I threw 2 rods the whole time.
see, I feel like
Probably-
Gunnersville is the exception to the rule, though, because that's just a
Yeah,
big
but I
old
mean, you
river.
could throw. I've done Chickamauga, all of them. I mean, how many exceptions you want to have?
yeah.
I
All
guess
of
you
them.
can figure out, like in my Bass You brunch, I was telling people how, and on recent podcasts I was on too, I can't remember which ones, saying like you just got to think about, focus on who you are as a person, your style, and just perfect it to no end. Just perfect it. If you're Greg Hackney, figure out every way to fish a jig, a swim jig, a football jig, whatever, a flipping jig. Just do everything, and you could literally. Tyler Williams on the elites, dude. That's like all the guy throws almost. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a rookie, and he's so
Yeah, when
good
we
with
were
a jig.
watching him when we were down in Ocala, we were watching him, and everyone was telling me, it was like, "Oh, he only throws jigs." I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Yeah, he live scopes with a jig." I'm like, "What?" And like, you look at his deck, and it's like 50 different jigs. It's like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna get out the white jig. Maybe they'll eat that."
Yeah.
He gets out the white jig, throws it out there, and then boom. And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, Lake Fork throwing a jig. I mean, he does throw some other stuff, but mostly throws a jig. So my point is, to our point here, no matter what body of water you're on, if you just do you and focus on and don't get lost in this world of, I mean, I hate to say this, guys, but marketing, where a lot of these baits and techniques and stuff, now they have their time and place, and I'm sure there's a time and place where they will work a little bit better, maybe. But who here has enough time to be in the water 300 days or 250 days to actually figure out when that exact time and place is? You know what I mean? So if you just do you and focus on it, just a few rods on your, your favorite techniques, the ones that you're good at. Oh man, I'm telling you, you can just be just as successful. So
one of the things I always say, like rivers versus lakes, like, yeah, and Elvis is saying the smallmouth are dumb there. That's the other thing. Like,
yeah,
Dude, you go above
you
Chicago.
could probably
Yeah.
just grab a pack of hot dogs and like probably do well. But I mean, like,
You think the hot dog
I
bike's
always,
gonna play, huh?
yeah.
yeah.
Big win.
Oscar Mayer, dude. It's got to be Oscar Mayer.
Nathan
Meyer.
One of those ballparks.
You know, I wouldn't be a fisherman if I didn't ask. Like, do we need to go with the Oscar
Yeah.
Mayer? Do we need to go with the Nathans? Like, do we need to scent them? Do we need to dip them?
Book the flight and you'll find out.
Super Nathan's guy. But I think though the rivers versus lakes thing is like a river in general. Like, this is really generalized, but like a river in general, you can go catch fish easier on any given day on a river. Like, if you want to like just go have a fun day, you can go catch, whatever, 20, 30 fish in general on a river. And it's probably because like it's a little easier. The fish are concentrated a little more in like less water. There's less dead water. Like in a lake, there's a lot of dead water. In a river, there's not really a lot of dead water. But what I always say is like, okay, yes, you can go do that, but like in a tournament, everybody has that same advantage. So like in a tournament, to find the big fish in the river, it's still as much of a skill set as finding fish in a lake as it is in a river. So like, and sometimes I feel like it's harder to separate yourself in a river because the guys that suck, no offense, there's always guys that suck that fish these tournaments. Like, they can
Guys that don't have
stumble
river,
on.
guys that don't have
No, I
extensive
mean,
river
there's nobody
experience.
on this call that sucks. Trust me, I've been with guys that like, but they can stumble on a couple big fish, and then you're like, oh crap, now I gotta like beat those guys. Whereas like on a lake, the guys that are terrible, a lot of times they're kind of just like they skunk. They'll be like, I didn't catch a fish all day, so it eliminates a lot of that feel. There's like a less of an element of luck in it. rivers bring an element of luck. So I think it is hard to it's a different way to look at it. But
I've
that's
seen a
why
lot of
if you're
guys in like Hobies be like, I'm gonna go up the river just like everyone else, and they get up there and they've never fished it, and then they catch like 30 inches and they're like, oh, the river sucks. Meanwhile, Drew's up there cashing a check, or the other guys. It's just it just proves like what Drew was saying, that you just got to fish to your strengths, because like if you run up the river with live scope and a Hobie, you're probably not going to do as good as someone who's ready for the river.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I got the Omnia Pro code, Bone, by the way. If you're doing some scouting, you're excited about this event, and you want to get Omnia Pro, get you a $50 gift card to Omnia Fishing to use KAS Pro. And speaking of that video I played earlier, that good smallmouth video, that spin an image, you can go to lurenet.com and get 15% off with KAS 15. So I'm not a huge affiliate code, whatever, pushing kind of guy, but we do have some of these brands that partner with us. We're going to have Patrick from, the Pradco brands on soon, as they're a new partner of ours. Rebel, Head In, Yum, Booyah, all those brands. So we'll have them on here pretty soon on the show and talk about it. We're excited to have those guys a part of the Kayak Adventure series as well. So anyway, a couple codes I wanted to shout out to you guys as we kind of start to wrap up here.
How far up have you fished, Josh? Have you gone all the way up to like where like kind of even with Mille Lacs, or do you tend to stay around St. Cloud?
I fished the whole thing. I mean, I've definitely fished above where the boundary is for this tournament. The furthest south I've been is like Monticello area, so it's like pretty far down there. The Monticello area, dude, is like there's a power plant down there, so that's where they have that swim bait tournament every winter. It's like
one?
in the middle. Yeah, I think it is
Or
the Metro
throwback,
one.
Throwback baits.
Throwback, yeah, the throwback. They do it like at that power plant, and I've never been there in the winter. Who wants to go to Minnesota in the wintertime? But that would be pretty sick. But I don't think you want to fish the power plant in July. It'll be like 98-degree water coming out.
I was gonna say, I don't know how power plant lake fishing goes up there, but I can definitely tell you, like in Texas, power plant lake fishing in the winter, into November, December, can be an absolute lights out. Like, I mean, their schedule's all messed up, but I mean, I remember punching at one of our power plant lakes, and it was one of my first 90+ days that I've ever had, and I was just aimlessly, trying to learn the lake, never been there, and was just like, oh, I'm gonna just find some big grass, and it was, I think my home lake water temp was 39, 40, something like that. Meanwhile, you go to the power plant lake, it's like 91. And a freaking ounce and a half punching weight and 15 feet of water, grass that's just right at the surface. So I mean, if it's anything like that, dude, that could be super rad.
Yeah, I've pumped. I fished a power plant one time in the summer, like water discharge. It's a smaller plant, like up at La Crosse. It flows into, I don't remember which pool it was, 8 or 9, and it was quite a bit hotter. But I did catch a fish up there, not many, but I caught one way up there. And I mean, they'll, bass will hang out in 90. Degree water, 80, high 80s, even if the main river's, in the, low 80s.
I mean, we did say these smallmouth are dumb up north. So
yeah, we'll
maybe
see.
For largemouth too.
Yeah,
they'll be this is one of those tournaments. I feel like guys will have 85 to 90 inches and like feel like they're having a good day, and they will not be having a good day because the floor.
The
floor. Yeah, the floor is 85, like 17 inches or like 13 inches. Other places, there's a ton of those 17s. I would even say 18s aren't quite as common as you would think, but what I've experienced, 17s, that like 17 to 18-inch class fish is just, there's so many of them, and they're just, I mean, and those are fun. I mean, if you catch, 30, 40, 17-inch smallmouth, like you're gonna it's a fun day.
My trip will have absolutely been worth it, like make me want to go back.
I mean, dude, you'll like smash them. I mean, I had a 140 fish day there, all on top water, so like it was crazy.
Here's what I'm thinking, Pete. You drive up there, you fly back home for that period, super cheap flight from Minneapolis to Dallas, dude. There's a cheap flight. Then you get somebody from KAS, someone like a lot of these Northeast Ohio guys where I live, that's on the way to Champlain. We get somebody who's riding with somebody to drive your vehicle all the way to Northeast Ohio where I am. Then you fly in here, and you just got a short little 8-9 hour drive to Champlain to finish it off. Bada bing,
Short.
bada boom.
Short.
Short compared to
The
the
whole day.
20, compared to the 20-something hour drive he was just looking
I
at.
mean, I was looking at the logistics for me to do Champlain because I think I would really like it, and I was like, "God, I don't know, man." Like,
Yeah, it's the only benefit that I have is being able to just, stop at a Love's and pop the tent open. But that's, I mean, I genuinely, I don't know, I guess, in that regard, kind of old soul, like being on the road, driving through the middle of nowhere and seeing that is,
Yeah.
for me, that's definitely part of it.
You could
Honestly, I'd much prefer to drive than fly.
tell you what, Pete,
Yeah.
you can drive to me from Texas, and I'll drive you the rest of the way, and you can leave your truck in the driveway.
Hey, anybody want to anybody screen record that? We need some receipts.
Yeah. We'll
I
try to
mean,
get you there.
it's on the way. So
Yeah, and I've got the I got to take off my big 270-degree awning. It has the mounts, and I've got the big 10-inch freaking tube to throw my rods in there. So it's truly a viable option.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can't get you there, man. Because here's the deal: when are you ever going to fish the Upper Mississippi? Ever? What is your excuse if it's not this? So this is to anyone listening right now, all you guys in the comments, whatever. I don't care how far the drive is, you're basically saying to yourself, you're never going to fish the most epic smallmouth fishery on the planet. If you say, "Oh, it's too far, I'm not going to make that trip. It's 23 hours."
Drew, that's such a tall order. After my trip to Susky last year, you guys taught me so much, and I was able to go out. My goal: go out, catch fish all day. What did I do? Went out and caught fish all day. What did I end up with? I don't know, 80 something. Don't care. Went out, caught river smallmouth all day. Ridiculous. So you saying that, this experience is going to top that is like, fuck, how can I not go? Like, excuse my language. That's
no, but it's true though. What other reason would you have to ever just go there that's bigger than this Achigan Mississippi Bronze Quest? I don't know.
Let's admit it too. Being able to go meet up with everybody, and I'll say this: y'all do a phenomenal job. Okay, certainly not discounting it, but please spam people with all of the things that come before the tournament, right? So that people can meet up, so that people can shake hands with the other competitors, so that people can plan. Hey, I've never been here. Oh, cool. Well, meet me at this launch in the morning. We'll all take off from there. Because that I've never experienced that before, and it happens with KAS, and that's at the end of the day. I understand that there's different rules and there's different unspoken rules in not just kayak fishing, right? All fishing tournaments. But at the end of the day, right, if you're focused on growing it as a quote unquote sport, people have to enjoy it, especially in 2025. There's no short of a million other things that people can do with their time and money. So focusing on that fun factor, please push all of the pre-events, push all the meetups, push the the brunch, all that stuff, because that's, I mean, I might be an outlier, but for anybody who's on the fence, right, and considering driving halfway across the country, you don't know anybody, you've never been there, dude, go to these events, take that extra day that you need to get there early instead of the evening before the tournament, whatever the case, and meet up with everybody. That's been definitely pivotal in making those events fun.
And if you guys want a bigger in-depth look at this event specifically, I just linked our preview show, and Josh is on that, and he gets a little bit more specific about how dumb the smallmouth are in this one. So motivation.
Elvis here.
I'm pretty sure this is the one where he told the story about the smallmouth jumping on the bank to eat.
Land-based smallmouth, dude.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's the next step in smallmouth evolution. That's all it is.
You need to come out with the mud munchie, where you just throw it up into the mud.
I got actually on that topic. I got to hop off here, but I wanted to throw a little plug. So we're launching our second online munchie drop today at 6:30. So if you want to get some, we have roughly 100 packs that will be for sale. We got glow bone.
So I like that.
That's the good one.
It's kind of like
that's a white anywhere everywhere color. Look at that.
Oh, I like that color.
Caramel apple.
That's a Drew color right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
And then this is probably my favorite. This is koi.
Oh yeah,
This
cool.
is a kind of a different
That's
one.
cool.
So yeah, get you some. These will be, in the munchie packages. So
And it comes with the hooks, right?
The nose hook,
The nose one
ones
does.
do. The other one doesn't.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll have some of
But-
those, I'm sure, up there for the Achigan Bronze Quest there.
Yeah,
Or-
I'll have some to use and beat everybody in the tournament with. So I don't know if I'm gonna sell any because last time we sold out in like 90 minutes on the last drop. So like if you want some, you got to kind of get on and get them because they'll be gone pretty quick. But
yeah,
I will say this for how about this? I'll do custom. I'll offer this for the top 3 finishers. I'll do a full custom color munchie, whatever you want. I'll do made to order munchies for the first, second, and third place finishers.
that's cool.
On that one.
Yeah.
And those hot pink ones lined up.
I like that. That'd be cool. That'd be fun. And rumor is there could even be a new cool Achigan shirt maybe or something sort of apparel for the Bronze Quest.
We're working on it.
We'll see.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it. I think we'll have that, and maybe we'll even do a pre-order because I think that might be a good thing to do too. Is like put it out there because that way we always run out of sizes,
Yeah.
inevitably. So maybe
I
we'll
think
do a
if anybody
pre-order.
too is on the fence about playing the Smalley games, dude, get your Smalley games board and just take it up there, and you could just fill that.
You'll beat it. You'll beat it.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake, how are you doing, man? I saw an order come through.
I put in. I finally caught a couple of decent smallmouth. Like I was like, you know what? I need to start actually taking pictures of these.
I got mine right here
Nice.
so far. So
now I think the only ones you can't fill up will be the wild card ones on the bottom right. But I think if you got this board and took it up with you, you could probably you could do like 90% of the squares.
Definitely a good time to get involved
100%.
in that. As we wrap up here, I just want to remind people the first 50 anglers get the $100 gift bag, and there's been a lot of people already signing up for this Upper Mississippi Bronze Quest. And then shifting it back to our next event, the Great Midwest of us, which again I think will be our biggest one to this date. Guys, get signed up. It's $175 for the individual division. You get $100 worth of stuff in that bag. We do give refunds if something comes up last minute, some emergency, you can't make it, we'll get refunds. So get signed up now, because the more people that sign up earlier, the more the momentum builds, more people come. So, which is good for everybody. We pay out 15 places. So bigger payout. Of course, again, that's not what it's all about. Is, I think Pete's done a good job explaining on this show. Really, it's about that fellowship and the family. So appreciate you guys. Josh, I know you might have to run. You're at work there, and everyone else too, I'm sure. But I appreciate you guys for coming on and sharing with us. And it's going to be a good rest of the season as we roll into, actually in 5 minutes, I got a call with one of our tourism department partners for 2026. So I got to run too. But any last comments before we roll from anybody here?
As a previous event organizer, the worst thing you can do is wait. Like you just said it right now. You're like, hey, sign up. And if you can't make it, if there's some reason that comes up, you can get a refund. But God bless, like you'll see my entry come through, because I'm over 90% certain that I can go. So you'll see that come through today, because
cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Don't
Hey,
wait.
I will
Don't
say
wait.
this. I did forget to mention this. The information for, I believe I've posted it for the Susky event with the Native Power Hour, our joint one, the Susky 5 Slamma Jamma, and the information for Broodstock is on the website. And what does that mean? Basically, it means who our official lodging partners are. Like the hotel, the Best Western Hotel is joint with the Green Mill Pub and Restaurant right there. That's where we're going to have the Bash U brunch, the opening ceremonies, the check-in registration up in the Upper Mississippi. So if you are a hotel going kind of angler, get in on that Best Western now. That way you got a place, and it'll make your life so easy at that event. You just walk downstairs to all the festivities, and then you're right there near downtown for the theater and the festival. So Best Western it is. We will see you guys, next time. Go check out the information on those websites. Jake, thanks again, man, as always, for all the hard work. And Tyler, Josh, and Pete, we'll see you guys at future events and future events for Bassmaster as well. So 10 Killers coming up soon. So.
See you there.
All right. See you guys.
Later.
Later.